Hey there, Star Trek fans, this is Wesatron. Today we're going to be taking a look at the AFX exclusive Diamond Select Toys Star Trek First Contact Jean-Luc Picard action figure. This figure came out a few years ago, 2006 it says down here. As you can see on the back here, it's very similar to the Wrath of Khan packaging, where it's actually got pictures of the actors and the cross cells as opposed to pictures of the figures. So that's pretty interesting. Up here, it's got a little just kind of once-over for the story there. And then here, it just talks a little bit about the toy line itself, about how you can get the characters as they looked in the show, or fan-favorite differentiations over the years. Now, this was shortly after, I believe shortly after, Diamond Select acquired Art Asylum, so it still has the Art Asylum logo down here at the bottom. And I think the bubble on this is actually pretty cool. It's a big figure. These are 7-inch scale, so it's pretty tall. But it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of wasted space with this package. It's very well designed, and it's got this nice ovular design here. The edges are all kind of blacked out, but not like fully black. They've got kind of this almost painted or brushed black metal look to them. Very cool. And again, you can see some of the accessories down here. In here, and the rifle over here. So a lot of cool stuff going on with the packaging. I dig it very much, but this is an action figure, so let's get him out of the box and see what he's like. And here's First Contact Picard out of packaging. I've got him posed with his phaser rifle here, and it looks pretty good. I like the way it fits. Everything is very, very nice on this figure. He comes with a lot of accessories, so we will go ahead and start with those first. First of all, of course, is the base. This is not a standard type of base that's got like a peg hole and or a peg and a hole on his foot for him to stand on it, like more to clip to it, I guess. He doesn't have any kind of peg holes on his feet, so the base is basically just for him to stand on, which works if you're, especially if you're standing him straight up. I mean, he stands on it just fine. I guess I should put that in frame. He stands up just fine on it. You know, it's supposed to, I think, supposed to represent the transporter. It looks really good. Once you get his legs spread, it's a little more complicated. And you see the bottom there, just a little info, 2006. Very nicely painted, very nice sculpt. They did a great job with this. I really dig this. Everything's very clean on it. I like it very much. Right here we've got the Borg Queen's head. Very cool. Her little metal dreadlocks back there, going all Predator on you. Very, very nicely detailed again. Very, very well painted. It's got that nice kind of not rusty but beaten quality that the Borg have. So very, very cool stuff. All these accessories, by the way, that I'm showing you are things that he can actually hold as well. Got the very small details of the, I believe this is the tricorder. I haven't looked up the details on what each thing is, but I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Very, very nicely detailed, tiny details. I hope that can focus a little better. There we go. Very, very cool. It's got kind of a pearlescent plastic, metallic a little bit kind of color to it. Very, very nice stuff. He's got his phaser here, which I did scrape a little bit of the paint off. You may not even be able to see it, but a little bit off, putting it into his hand just to make sure that it fit. And so watch out for the paint on his hands a little bit. But yeah, very, very nicely detailed again. You know, it's got a very simple look. You know, it looks like a price scanner at the store. So they replicated it very well, though. And here's a data pad. All the great little kind of colored sections, the buttons. It makes it look like an iPad, basically. Very, very nicely represented. And again, there's a better look at the that kind of metallic paint they've got on it. You see, kind of got kind of a glisten, like a pearlescent look to it. Very, very cool and very brightly colored. It looks great. It looks just like the show. I love it. And lastly, he's got his phase rifle here, which very cool. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch First Contact again. This seems like it's a bit small to me, but they might have been smaller than I remember. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie. But very cool. It does fit in his hand pretty well. It's got a very, very thick handle. I mean, like, you compare that to the phaser, which from the side, you know, is more how you get in his hand, and it's a pretty thick handle, so it might be a little tough getting into his hands. He does have very tough plastic, but it will fit and looks great with him. So this is his costume that he wore through some of First Contact, and the cool thing about this is it's kind of like a different look from the rest of the series. I don't recall him ever wearing this in any of the other movies, but I mean, I'm not a Trekkie to the extent that pretty much everyone else in the world is. I'm just getting into the Next Generation, so if I'm wrong on any of my facts, just let me know in the comments. That's cool. But yeah, this costume, I always kind of wondered if this was supposed to be sort of representative, because it was the second TNG movie, if it was supposed to be like the second Star Trek movie with Wrath of Khan, where he went down to the vest look in that. I wonder if that was supposed to kind of mimic that a little subtly. Very nicely detailed, great ribbing on the sweater, very, very cool. They did a great detail on the Starfleet badge. He's got all his little decorations here. Very nice, the folds and things like they did on the Wrath of Khan pack that I showed before. Very, very nicely done. The hands this time, I think, are extraordinary. They look great. They're aged a little bit. They've got personality to them, though. I mean, like, it's not just an open hand or anything. It kind of looks like he's gesturing or something like that. So it's very cool. Same with this hand. Very, very, very nicely done. I love all the wrinkles that they did on it. I mean, not that he was like a super duper old guy, but it's very nice detail. I like it. Got a nice lacquer on the boots again, which is very cool. Very, very slick looking. I like the way this guy looks quite a bit. I think out of package he looks a little less boxy through the midsection than he did in the package. I was a little concerned because I know Patrick Stewart's a pretty fit guy, but once you get him out of the package, you can see he's kind of got that little bit of a taper to his shape, so that looks great. He's not just like a cardboard box with arms and legs. They did a great job with that. So lastly, we'll just take a quick look at the face, just so you guys can see the detail work they did on that. Again, this was sculpted, not, as far as I know, sculpted instead of scanned in. And I think it's a pretty good likeness to Picard. It's not perfect. Patrick Stewart, I don't think, has quite as big of a schnoz as they gave him. They give him a pretty big nose, which isn't as bad from certain angles. I mean, like, from there it looks very good. From there it looks very good. It's just straight on. His nose looks a little bulbous. But still very well done. They did a great job on the hair back here too. They actually, textured it and everything. Looks very, very nice. And they didn't put on like a ton of paint on the hair, so it looks like it's got that kind of short look that he always wore. So very, very cool stuff. This guy looks great. I really, really dig this. So articulation, we've got a ball joint at the base of the neck, just like the Wrath of Khan 2-pack. Unfortunately, he is very limited there too. The collar is a real big limiter, which is unfortunate because I really like the look of the collar in both the original series movies, I guess, and the look in Next Generation. But you do get a little bit back. Forward is almost non-existent. You have to force it really hard, and you'll probably end up scratching his neck up. Side to side is pretty good, though. I mean, like, his tilt. Right and left will turn to a degree, but again, because of the collar, if you turn too far, you're going to be cutting into the sculpt on the neck a little bit, so just be careful with that. Swivel hinge shoulders, so all the way around here, and actually goes out very far. Very nicely done. Almost perfectly out. It might go if I force it a little further, but I don't really need to or want to because I don't want to risk breaking the toy. But as you can see, that's very different from the Wrath of Khan pack, which had the double ball so that it had rotation there as well. Swivels in the biceps there, of course, will go all the way around. Hinged elbows, which go right about 90 degrees, very nice. Swivel wrists. I imagine these are probably removable. Yep, they pop right out. A little ball on the end there to pop them back in. So very cool. And then we've got a swivel waist, which on mine was a little stuck at first, but I gave it a good kind of crack and it popped right open. So that's very nice. We got hinged T-hips here, which he doesn't have anything hindering him like Kirk or Spock did, so he can sit down perfectly in a captain's chair if that's where you want to put him. Very, very nice. And then hinged knees, which go about 90 almost. This one, it seemed like it didn't go quite as far. Yeah, that one's not quite a 90-degree angle, but still pretty good. And then we've got the hinged ankles, so they go back that far and forward that far. So pretty good considering he's got this big boot cuff here. They actually did flare the sculpt out a little bit, I think to accommodate that forward and back momentum or motion, and it was very well done. Very nice on Art Asylum's part, or Diamond Select, I guess. So this figure wasn't exclusive, and luckily I was still able to find it on Amazon for $14.99. So with shipping, it was like 19, 20 bucks, something like that. So for that price, Very, very good deal compared to what you're getting out there. He's not quite as articulated as I like. The hips, if they had some hinges on there, would be amazing. But more importantly than that, I would love to have a cut here. When you compare him to the articulation style of, let me get him in here, Kirk, they're almost identical. Wow, he's big compared to him. That's crazy. You can see he's got the hinges down here just above his knees, which allows him to kind of work with the absence of the hinge there in the hips. So that's great for these guys. These guys, not quite as much, because I know they also use the buck system too. So I'll have to keep an eye out on that on my future TNG purchases. But despite those little things, I mean, for the most part, he's going to be standing still on the shelf anyway, looking awesome with his phase rifle. $20, I would say, is a good price, especially for an exclusive, and especially for this kind of modern costume, because I've looked around a little bit, and there's not a whole lot of figures of him in the kind of modern outfit. I know there's one from Nemesis, but it didn't look really great to me. But this one also will kind of like stand out from your other TNG figures who are even from the same film series. So that's pretty cool. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, he does have a separate trigger finger here, so you can put that through there for posing, so it'll look very nice. And I love the way that finger sticks out on his left hand, because it just kind of works perfectly to fit over the foregrip of the rifle, which is awesome. So yeah, very nice figure. $15 is a great deal. If he's still available on Amazon, I highly recommend him if you can get your hands on him. I would imagine a lot of these will probably go up in price over the years as opposed to down. I'm not positive on that because I haven't been a Star Trek fan for 20 years like most people. But if you can get him, I'd say now's the time to grab him, because $15, even if it does go down, is still a good deal. So thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate your comments and subscriptions. You guys are great. I really, really, really enjoy talking about toys, and I enjoy discussing everything with everyone down in the comments. It's been a lot of fun. So if you get time, check out InfiniteHollywood.com for more news, reviews, and discussions. There's a lot of stuff going on over there for Newton Gimmicks, so go over there and tell them what you think. Appreciate it, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.